Actually, I'd like to start seated this morning, just a little different. As I told you, I'm nursing a little hamstring thing. So even as the teacher, things happen and you have to adjust your practice. So I'll be giving modifications. Sometimes even when you don't have that injury, it's nice to try things a different way. So I'm actually going for this morning, I'm going to elevate myself. You don't have to do that, but that's how I'm going to take this, because what I want is my knees to drop below my hips. This is also great if you're just like sitting and working in a desk chair, to put something underneath, because it takes a lot of pressure off the lower back. My hands are resting on my knees. Yep. My shoulders draw down the back, and then I'm just going to close my eyes for 5 breaths and just kind of ground myself. Even if you feel all over the place and you feel like you can't close your eyes, give it a try. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, just let it go. Sit up a little taller. Subtly draw the navel into the back of the spine. And let yourself just drop down into the practice. My favorite thing about this yoga practice is that you never know what you're going to find physically, mentally, from a breath standpoint. So just kind of go with it. Yeah. Blink the eyes open and just sweep your arms out and up. Yeah, just sweep your arms out and up. Just have your hands shoulder width distance this morning. And as you lengthen the side waist, lengthen and kind of like wiggle up a little. Let the shoulders draw down the back, draw the belly in. Take the left hand to the top of the right thigh knee area. The right hand's going to come behind you. You can even rest it on this block if it's underneath you, or fingertips to the ground. And I just want you to lengthen up, create some leverage for yourself. Look over the shoulder or look sideways and just take a gentle twist. Good. Pull back through center, grow the arms back up towards the sky. Feel the side ribs growing a little longer, but feel the shoulders slide down the back. So it's like 2 things happening at once, and keep letting the lower half of the body just be relaxed. The right hand comes anywhere on the top of that left thigh knee area, left hand behind you. You can even rest it on the block if it's close by. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, just create some leverage and just turn. So when you turn, any twisting, I'll just remind you, you twisting your ribs. You don't twisting your spine, you don't twisting your hips. These are not areas that are supposed to twist. Come back to center, grow the arms back up towards the sky, just create some space. Let the arms then slide forward, wrap the left arm underneath the right, and just lift the elbows up. And this is just going to give you a little thoracic stretch, upper shoulder blades. Rather than yanking down on the joint, lift the elbows up. This is going to create a little bit more of an opening rather than feeling like you're tugging. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Good. Wrap the arms out and up, sweep them one last time up towards the sky, and then draw the arms forward, and then just go the opposite direction if you can remember. Even from like 2 seconds ago, I think I forgot which arm I did. Rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up and just breathe. Sweep the arms out and up, and then drag the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Remove the block out from underneath. Slide yourself into a little tabletop position. Little tabletop position is always nice. I like to take this with the toes curled, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Go sink the spine down and look forward, just basic movements. Exhale, round the spine, look in. Good. Inhale, sinking the spine down and looking forward. Exhale, round the spine deeply, look in. One more. Inhale, sinking spine down, looking forward. Movement and breath together. Exhale, round and look in. Come to a flat back tabletop position. Just slide the right leg back so it's kind of like a half plank. Yes, my right quadricep engages. And I want you to pretty fiercely engage the right toes into the mat if that's available to you. So you broaden and you fire up that right leg. Good. Then float the right leg up so it's just hip height. Yep. And then I want you to go ahead and point your right toes if you can, round and look in. So you're just going to draw and extend the right knee in towards the navel, round the spine. extend the right leg back, flex the foot, and create a little bit of an up dog here as you look forward with your heart and your chest. So try that again. Point the right toes, round, and look in. And then extend and flex and create a little bit of an up dog, so a little arch in the back. Point the right toes, round, and look in. And this time, step the right foot all the way forward and through. So I have to go ahead and slide my left knee back beyond your fingertips here. I'm going to have my blocks near me the entire practice because you just never know if you feel like you need a little lift. This is the way to do it. And then sweep the arms out and up and come up to a supported lunge. Play with your supported lunge always. Some days being a little heavier like I'm demonstrating here, so I get more of a stretch down the psoas. Feels awesome. Other days you need to back out of it like I'm demonstrating here. I just pull back and I'm more straight up and down. So you decide how this feels best. Yeah. Go ahead and grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. So it's just going to kind of grab onto that left wrist. Inhale, lengthen through that side left hip. Exhale, just going to go up and over to the right like 2 or 3 inches. It's not a dramatic movement. Keep grounding your right leg and breathe. Good. Come back through center. Re-extend the arms towards the sky. Take the hands down to frame your front foot. Plant the palms and just slide back to a tabletop position. Good. Extend the left leg straight back. I want you to fiercely fire up your left leg and make neutral here. So your left leg is engaged. The toes are curled into the mat. You feel something. The arms are energized. And then go ahead and lift the left leg up so it's just hip height and pause and just feel this. The neutral body right here, point your left toes if it's available and draw the left knee in and round and look in. So squeeze like a little ball. And then extend the left leg back. And as you flex the foot, create a little up dog in the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, look forward. Point the toe, round and look in. And then flex the foot, extend out, create a little bit of an up dog. It's not dramatic. Yes. Point the toes, round and look in. Step the left foot all the way forward and through. Arrange this modified lunge so it feels best for you this morning. And then sweep your arms out and up, come up to a supported lunge. So play with your supported lunge, find the sweet spot for you this morning. Everyone's going to be a little different. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. So I want you to inhale, lengthen the right side of the body up. My left elbow's bent a little. And then exhale, you're going to go up and over to the left, just like 2 or 3 inches. It's not a big movement. You want to keep your body super aligned, hip points forward, left leg strong. And just feel the body kind of creating this subtle shape. Come back to neutral, re-extend the arms to the sky, hands to frame your front foot, integrate your back right leg. You're in a low lunge now. You're going to step into a plank. Lead with your chest, hold here, few breaths, spread the palms, fire up the legs, draw the navel into the back of the spine, fix your eyes on something that's not moving, otherwise called as your dristi. Your focal point. Always know the modification. You can drop your knees, spread the collarbone, hips up and back, down dog. So a little subtle bend behind your knees, very helpful for a lot of us struggling with injury, with tightness, with just cold weather. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders. Let your head just hang. Spread the toes wide. And just settle in here. I'm taking up quite a lot of space on my mat this morning. Movement of the shoulders is away from the ears, ideally. Yeah, roll forward, plank. Now you find your down dog to your plank. Make sure that it's set up properly. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. Keep the toes curled. Lower halfway to a supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a supported plank. Good work. Lift the knees so you're back in plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. We'll do that 2 more times. So move on your breath, roll forward plank. Always lead with your chest. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. Halfway at most as you lower to a supported push-up. Re-straighten so you're back in the supported plank first. Then lift the knees so you activate your legs. Hips up and back, down dog. So move in slow-mo, like it's almost annoying. Roll forward to a plank. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. Feel everything you're doing. Halfway to a supported push-up. Re-straighten the arms so you're back in that supported plank. Lift the knees, activate the legs. Good work. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps or 20 to get there. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Decide if you want to practice with your feet a little separated. That's fine. Sweep the arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare yourself. Step to plank for this first one. Lower halfway to your version of a push-up. Now, if you're struggling with an injury, you can take them out. Up dog or cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Make your practice feel good, right? Don't just do it because, like they say it's good for you. Like we know it's good for you, but make this practice feel good for you and try to enjoy it. Arms stay straight. Look where you want to go. Step, float, skip, crawl. I don't know how you're feeling. Get to the top. Long spine, maybe a drop, stop, and roll. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Let's go again. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Look up a little if you can. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare yourself. Step, float through a vinyasa. So when you step back, if you're just stepping back, you lower halfway from your push-up, then drag yourself through an up dog or cobra. Pick what feels best. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Each one that you do hopefully starts to feel a little better. Press actively through your hands. Look where you want to go. Step, float, skip, get to the top, nice and light. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold, let your head go. Root to rise, come all the way up, anchor your feet, drag the hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms go straight up, keep moving. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step, float. You can always land light in a push-up chaturanga. Up dog or cobra if you're taking the back bend. Do it slow. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale the breath out. Plug down through your hands. Look where you want to land. Step or float. Top of mat. Get there light. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through vinyasa. Nice and smooth in the transitions. Hips up and back, downward facing. Look where you want to go. Let's do one more. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go up, anchor. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float, vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Drag your chest through. Hips up and back, down dog. Look where you want to go. Step your feet, float all the way through, and lay down on your backs. When you hit the floor, bring the block with you. Legs can be up on a V, like an angle like this. I'm going to keep my knees a little bent just to protect the hamstring today. So you kind of decide how this feels. Pick an angle that you know works for you. So bring the block out in front of you, such as this. Now we're going to try and keep the arms straight with the block out, okay? So you're going to do V-ups like this. You're going to pull your shoulder blades up off the floor and reach the block way towards the toes. Good. And then you're going to lower back down. You're going to go like this. You're going to pulse up, shoulders lift, lower back presses down, and lower down. Here we go. So you're going to move on your own breath. As you pulse up, squeeze the shoulders up off the ground. Keep your arms straight and lift up higher. Small movements, isometric core. Good, keep going. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the block, bend the knees, reach your arms forward. Use your hands if you need. Boat Navasana, pull it up. So I just pulled myself up into boat with bent knees. My hands are grabbing the backs of the thighs, which just gives me a little bit of support. Eyes of the shoulders lift. You want to scoop up the belly. Good. Cross the ankles, step or float through a vinyasa. Just activating the center line. That was the goal there. Up dog pulls you through. It should feel good to stretch out the core a little. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward at a low lunge and pause. Be on your fingertips. Yeah, know you could always modify your back knee to the floor. Reach your arms alongside your body. So you're hovering here. Yeah. Palms always face down so the eyes of the shoulders can squeeze together. Root to rise, high lunge, crescent lunge. Steer the hip points forward. Find your balance, find your breath. Steer the hip points forward. Good. Let's have a little fun. You know, I like to have a little fun. I'm such a yoga dork. So you're going to press up into a tree pose. You may need to use your left hand to do it. Yep. So guide it up into tree and then grow the branches of your tree. If it didn't work out so successfully, don't stress. Just try to create the shape the best that you can. Grip the right hip in. And like we did earlier, seated, I want you to feel like you're wiggling the side of your body up while the shoulders drop down the back. Let's balance a drop longer. Kind of fix your eyes. Settle into a little bit more grounding in this practice this morning. I think we could all benefit from that. Guide the left leg back, warrior one. Just do your best, warrior one. Yep, steer the left side of your body forward, grip your right hip in. Hands to frame your front foot, vinyasa, or just go to a dog. If you're not into all the push-ups this morning, all the back bends, just simply take it out, okay? Once you get to your dog, guide your left foot forward, pause, be in a low lunge on your fingertips just for a beat here. Activate your back leg or maybe modify. You can modify. Reach your arms alongside your body, palms face down, shoulder blades squeezed together. So you're just kind of in this hovering position. And then root to rise, high lunge, crescent lunge. And kind of iron this out here. You're heavy in that front thigh. Back leg is nice and zipped up, side ribs long. Soften the shoulders down the back. Good. Fix your eyes. And you may need to use your hand to do this. That's totally fine. Guide your right leg up into tree. Anywhere along the instep of that left leg, just not pressing against the inside of the knee. We want to avoid that. Kind of grip your hips in. Energetically reach up with your arms if you can. Fix your eyes. And let yourself just feel. A little unsteady sometimes when we balance. Sometimes you nail it right away. Fix the eyes, calm the breath, quiet the mind. That's the goal. Keep the arms moving up and just energetically guide your right leg back. Do the best that you can, warrior one, step back. Back foot's on a strong angle so the right ribs can spin forward. Left hip grips in. Press strong through your feet, through your legs. Hands to frame your front foot. Go through a vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back down dog. So I think that's fun. Let's do it one more time and we won't hold it as long. Guide your right foot forward. Sweep your arms back alongside your body. Yeah, then rise, crescent lunge. Then we'll move on from this. Good. Guide that left leg up, tree pose, do the best that you can. Sometimes when you repeat things, you find a little bit more ease with it. Grow the branches, wiggle the ribs. Find some peace with this. Keep the arms moving up, guide your left leg back. Big step, warrior one. Yeah, you got it. Hands to the floor, through vinyasa, adding or subtracting push-ups. Good, hips up and back dog. Left foot lands, low lunge, just pause for a sec. You always want to arrange the alignment before you just whip into the pose. Reach the arms back. Yeah, and then rise crescent. Steer the hip points forward, back leg nice and engaged. Good, use the strength of your body, maybe use your right hand, guide your right leg up. Tree. Hips hug in, side ribs lift, fix your eyes. Stand up a little taller. Another big breath in. Guide that right leg back, warrior one. Nice big step. Warrior one. Hands to frame your front foot. Vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Good, look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Hands can always rest to your shins. You know that. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Sit into chair. I almost skipped it. Chair pose. Stick your butt way back. I'm taking chair today with my feet about hips width, but they can come together if that feels good. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. 3 of these bad boys. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Heavy in your heels, stick your butt way back for chair. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step or float through a vinyasa of choice. When you get to your down dog, land your right foot forward, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands back down through your version of a vinyasa. Yeah. When you get to your down dog, this time again, left foot lands, back foot turns, rise on your breath. Warrior one. Good work. Back down we go through vinyasa. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Feel the outer part of your hand press into the ground, and then your triceps really grip in. With your arms straight, look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, fold into yourself. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Feel the weight in your heels and use that energy to press up to stand up, top of mat. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Here we go from the top, chair pose. Yep. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Nice, long spine to prepare. Step or float through your variation of a vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Nice, Maria. Press to your hands, the tops of your feet. I see you. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Warrior one, right side. You got it. Hands back down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. You can add in push-ups. You can take them out. Yeah. Good. The left foot lands, the back foot turns, rise. Take your time. Steph's like, I got to get this done. I got to get on to the next thing. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Hey, we're all the same. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. I think slowing my yoga practice down has been like my life's goal because I just want to do everything so quick and get it over with. So if you're like me, I can relate to you. Look where you want to go, step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold, sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand up, use your energy, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. One more for good luck. Arms go up, heavy in your heels for chair, stick your butt back, and then dive over those bent legs, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step or float through your version of a vinyasa. The up dog is smooth. You want to press even through your hands, the tops of the feet. That looks good, Reg. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Let's rise, warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Peel yourself to the up dog, then hips up and back, down dog. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. Let's rise, warrior one, left side. These look fantastic. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Smooth through the transitions. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Good. In your down dog this morning, just turn your toes to the left and your heels to the right. Bring your right hand out an inch and roll into Vashisthasana like this. So essentially, I just staggered my feet. If this does not work for you this morning, modify with your bottom knee down. I'm demonstrating it here. Okay. If you're looking for more, you're welcome to stack the 2 feet on top of one another. Top arm drives up towards the sky, or it could reach up and forward towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Either of these options work great. You want your hips even, straight up towards the sky. Flex the toes and breathe. Lift a little higher, guys. Down dog, just go to dog. Reset, toes to the right, heels to the left, left hand comes in, and then you're gonna roll right open into your Vashisthasana. I need you to find a Vashisthasana that you know you can hold for a few really good breaths, right? Not worth it to be in something that's really stressing you out. Good. Work on your alignment. Make sure your left hip and your right hip are on the same plane of energy. Stretch the right arm straight up or wrap it up and forward. You pick what works. Every pose has a modification. I don't care what anybody says. So find something you can maintain. 3 more breaths. This time to plank. Then drop to your forms for forearm plank. Yeah, bring the hands in, clasp the hands, lengthen the tailbone. Engage the navel to the back of the spine, keep the neck nice and neutral. I'm fixing my eyes right on my fisted hands. Draw the belly in. Yes. You want to create a straight plane of energy. Yeah, make sure your tailbone's not sticking up and your spine's not dropping down. Find neutral, hold 5 more breaths. Use the ground, it's got you. Split the hands apart, 1 palm at a time, straighten your arms, plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot smack in between your hands, turn your back foot on a strong angle, have your block nearby, it's always smart. Circle open warrior 2. Nice big juicy step. Check in with your alignment always. The right foot intersects the back foot. It's either heel to heel. I like heel to arch personally. I give the same cues all the time. You need to remember to wrap your inner right thigh open, right? Keeping the health of this knee is really important. Your back foot's on a slight turn. Your side ribs are long always. Your collarbone is spread open nice and wide. You want to find symmetry in this posture. This is one of those poses that we do want to have symmetry. So lengthen the tailbone and then fix your eyes. Even better, close your eyes and just kind of breathe inward. Where can you soften? What can you let go of? There's always something. Sit a little deeper. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Let the side body open up a little. Yes. Come back through warrior 2. Rest your right forearm on the top of your right thigh. Soft, guys. Top arm reaches straight up and forward or straight up towards the sky. The tendency here is that the right hip sticks out. You got to work on gripping your right hip in, turning the bottom ribs. Your bottom right ribs need to turn towards the ceiling sky area. So what we're going to do here is just let your top left arm either come in front of your face or let it pull you back up, warrior 2. So just reset, warrior 2. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Yeah. Come back to that warrior 2, arm to top of thigh or hand can come to the outside of the foot. I'm going to go with a block high and place my hand to the outside of my right foot. This is called a variation of extended side angle. Yeah. Top arm can stay straight up or it can wrap up and forward. When you wrap it up and forward, it's like a bow and arrow with your side body. Yeah. Hug your right hip in, turn your bottom ribs, and then settle in here. We're holding for a few more really good breaths. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Anchor the left leg, solid, strong, and straight. Where can you soften? Relax the right shoulder, relax the jaw and the face, and breathe. The same thing goes, top arm straight up or wrap it in front of your face, warrior 2. Lengthen the tailbone, settle in for a breath. Take it to the floor, vinyasa. The vinyasa here always feels good. The up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot smack in between your hands, turn the back foot on a strong angle, cartwheel open, warrior two. Yep, check in with your alignment. Same thing goes. Yep, wrap that inner thigh open. Side body nice and long. Soften the shoulders, pick your spot to focus. And then settle in here, maybe close your eyes. Few breaths. Think of your tailbone dropping down like you're sitting in squat. Yeah. A little more breath, a little more energy. Flip the palm reverse, let the side body get a little opening. Yeah, the lower half of the body stays. Come back through warrior two. Start by just resting your arm on the top of the thigh today. So start basic, start simple. Stretch the right arm up or wrap it up and forward, you pick. The alignment here, the left hip has to hug in. Bottom left ribs, turn. Drishti gaze can look sideways, look up. But soften the left shoulder so it's not clenched up towards your ear. Anchor that right leg. And then circle the arm or let that top arm just pull you back. Reset warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior one more time. Reach out, arm to top of thigh, repeat, or hand to the outside of the foot. I'm gonna go with a block this morning, up nice and high. And then I'm gonna stretch my right arm up and forward. Arm can go straight up, hand can go to hip. I mean, there's a lot of great options with this. Pay attention. Left knee has to continue to roll open. Hip has to continue to hug in. Bottom ribs turn. Soften the neck and the shoulders. And then settle in here. Stay with it. Try not to clench the mat. Lighten the load with the breath. Top arm is going to wrap forward, or it's just going to pull you back up. Warrior two. Take it to the floor, vinyasa. Just circle it down and move yourself through a vinyasa flow, however that feels good for you. Meet me in a dog. Step the right foot smack, turn the back foot strong, cartwheel open, warrior two. Yep. Warrior two, arms are nice and strong and straight. Straighten your right leg on track, pick your distance. I'm gonna go a little tighter and shorter today and find your way into triangle pose. So if your hamstrings feel okay, your back feels okay, you can take a longer triangle. Front leg should have a little bend. Always have your block nearby because you may find that some days having your hand resting on the block to the outside of the right calf just feels a lot better. Stack up your body right here. This is definitely one of those poses you can't be in for like 2 breaths, right? We have to find the posture, feel the leg strength, feel the oblique strength, make sure the neck is nice and neutral, and then settle in here. Look sideways, look up. So we're gonna keep the shape, look down. I'm gonna slide my hand to my hip just for balance sake. Move the block forward and pop up into Ardha. Yeah, half moon. Right foot forward, right hip grips in, and then stack it open. Yeah, spark up your left toes. Anything you wanna add in this pose to kind of embellish upon it, go for it. So most of the time that's adding in the bind, grabbing behind that foot with that foot behind you and kicking behind you. Yeah. The biggest challenge is keeping that right foot forward for a lot of us. Yeah. If you fall, just try again. Stay with it. If you added in a bind, just release into regular half moon. 3 breaths in regular half moon, wherever you are. Soften behind that standing right leg, guys. Make sure you're not hyperextending. Eyes to the floor, left hand comes down, square off your hips. Left foot meets right foot, top of mat. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale your breath, hook, and let's go to the right. So if you're not hooking today, you're just kind of air twisting, that's great. Yeah. Good. The alignment trumps the pose. So you want your feet, your shins, your knees. That looks really good, Reg. The alignment looks excellent. You want to make sure your left knee doesn't slide past your right. And then you know you're in good business. Weight stays in your heels. The spine in this pose stays long. So we're not reminding you, we're not twisting through our spine. We're twisting through our ribs. Look sideways, look up. Pull around to chair, heavy in your legs, chair pose, chair pose. You got this. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through a vinyasa of choice. Just keep it moving. That's the goal this morning. The up dog pulls you through your body. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Have your block with you. Step your left foot smack between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. And let's cartwheel open warrior two. So warrior two, left side. Good. Arms are really active, straight and strong. Straighten your left leg on track. Pick your distance. Pivot into triangle. Yeah. I always keep a bend behind my front standing leg. Yeah. Just to protect the little ligaments behind the knee and all that good stuff. Stack up the body. My back foot's on a nice strong angle, so it's getting my hip aligned. And you want to feel like you're leaning back a tiny bit, but you're not going into your lower back. There's a big difference. Broaden the collarbone and the chest. Spread open. Every exhale breath can get you a little deeper, a little freer, a little bit more open. Keep the strong straight shape and see if you can just step up into Ardha. I'm going to use my block here and move it forward enough that my side ribs stay long. Soften behind that standing leg. And then Ardha Chandrasana, here we go, half moon pose. Lift from that inner right thigh, spark up those right toes. You can choose to just keep this really simple and basic, or you can add in the bind or work on balance. When you kick the foot behind you, it's not going up towards the sky though, it's going right behind the body. So you could really get that side body to open. Keep that left foot forward, grip the bottom left hip in, and breathe here. And the challenge is holding the pose while breathing and maintaining stability. If you added in any funny business, extend and release into half moon Ardha Chandrasana for 3 breaths. Good. Right hand comes to the ground, square off your hips first, then land your feet together at the top of the mat. Sit immediately into chair just so your mind can kind of stay in this. Drag the hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook, and let's go to the left. So we're taking chair twist and we're going to the left. You can air twist, you can just stay up, but really make sure that the lower half of the body is creating the structure of a box. The right knee is not sliding in front of the left. The weight stays firmly in your heels and your spine is long. Couple more. Chair pose, pull it around. Strong in your legs, guys, strong in your legs. So keep the legs bent and just wrap the left thigh over the right, left thigh over right, and wrap your left arm under. So just gonna eagle yourself, balancing on your right leg. Just make sure you're on your right leg. Yes, so wrap yourself up here into eagle. Steer the hips a little to the back edge of the mat and the knees a little to the left. There you go. Sit a little deeper. squeeze down the center line of the body. So keep the lower half of the body nice and tight. Just unravel your arms towards the sky. So it's like you're in a little chair. Unravel your left leg up. So now you're standing on your left leg. You're standing on your left leg, on your right leg, excuse me, and your left leg is bent up 90-degree angles. You're on your right leg. Good. Arms stay nice and strong up towards the sky. Take a generous step back into a lunge. Yes. And iron out your crescent lunge. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Lean out, hook the elbow and twist. So if you need to modify here, you just drop the back knee down. Yeah. Hook the elbow to the outside of the thigh or opt for easy twist, which is hand to the instep of your foot. Look sideways, look up. Perfect. Stay with it. Grip the right hip in strong. And turn. Two more. Good. Release both hands to frame the front foot. So let's do this, guys. Drop the back knee down. Most of you have blocks, and if you don't, then like get creative here. Take the blocks forward, okay? You're gonna reach your arms way out. So we're gonna take a version of lizard that I personally really like. So your hands are gonna be on the instep of your right leg. So it's gonna look like this. My arms are gonna be really active. They're resting on blocks. And you have to kind of play with it. Maybe the blocks need to be a little closer, maybe less further away, okay? If you can lift your back leg up, you're gonna be in this position like this. So you're kind of in this hovering position. The back leg is engaged, the right leg is bent, and then you're playing with the splay of your hands. Maybe your right arm goes a little bit more forward or your left arm goes a little more forward, or it's basic, it's right, even. So you're staying here a few more breaths. Keeping the chest nice and open. Good. Drop the back knee back down. Slide the left block so it's a little bit more underneath the shoulder, maybe a little forward, and then peel the right arm back. So it's going to look like this. This may be where you stopped this morning, and this is fine. If you can kick the foot up and grab the ankle, go for it. This is otherwise known as king full pigeon. If the right foot wants to kind of roll out a little, the right toes turn on an angle, that may give you a nice little stretch to the outer part or the inner part of the leg. Go for it. If you want to drop down onto your forearm with your left forearm down on the block of the floor, welcome to do so. Breathe. Keep turning the chest. Look sideways. Let go of the foot if you have it. Place both hands down on the ground. Engage the back leg and let's step to a dog. In this down dog, roll forward plank, lower halfway through a vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here, just feel. Good, keep the arms really straight. Look where you wanna go, step or float, top of mat. Get there nice and light. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into a little chair for me. Yep. Standing on your left leg, wrap your right thigh around. Wrap your right arm under. Eagle. So just make sure you're on your left leg and then you know you're set. So wrapping into eagle, balancing on your left leg. Steer the hips a little to the back edge of the mat, right knee, the knees a little to the right. Squeeze. Weights in that standing heel. Sit a little deeper, you got this. Unravel just your arms, okay? With your arms moving up, you're gonna press to stand on your left leg, draw the right knee towards the navel. See if I can get it straight this time. Yes. So you're on your left leg and your right leg is just bent in half. You're using your core muscles to keep the leg in space, the arms moving up. Keeping everything energized up, guide your right leg back, crescent lunge. Nice big juicy step this morning. Arrange the stance, drag the hands to prayer, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Listen to your body if you need to drop the knee or take easy twist. I'm demonstrating easy twist here. This is a great alternative. Grip the bottom left hip in. Think of your back leg as solid plank. Yeah. Lean back a little bit, crown of the head. So we want to get the round out of the spine. Yeah, that's why sometimes if you drop the knee, you can kind of find that better. Soften the right shoulder, Steph. It's doing something funky. Yeah, bring your hands closer to you in prayer. There you go. Good, you got to grip that left hip in and then activate that back leg. Couple more breaths. Hands to frame your front foot. Pause. Drop the back knee. Find your blocks. So you may need to walk your left foot a little to the left to kind of bring the hands to the instep of that left leg. Keep the foot forward for this pose. And you're going to play with how the blocks or how the floor feels for you. So maybe bring the blocks a little bit more forward. Maybe they need to be right underneath the shoulders this morning. You decide. Maybe the back knee needs to stay down and this is the pose. This could be it. If you want to add more, back leg lifts, kneecap lifts, and you're in this lizard pose. And then you play. Maybe the right arm slides a little more forward. This for me gives me a lot more stretch around along my right side. Or maybe it's even through both, right? Keep your chest very open though. I'm going to do it with the back knee down. I'm still getting plenty of action here. But the more I slide my arms forward, the more I feel across that back leg while keeping the chest and the torso nice and open and lifted. Grip the left hip in and feel. So hips, psoas, all the good stuff here, getting a nice opening. If the right knee is lifted, drop it down. And then walk yourself up so your right hand is just directly underneath the right shoulder. I'm going to use a block here. Left arm is going to peel back into a little twist. And then this could be the pose, or you can kick your foot up for the full deal. Once you get hold of your foot, you can play with that splay of that right hand. Maybe the block moves a little bit more forward. Maybe it's more underneath the shoulder. If you're really, really tight, you can have the block up really, really high like this. Yep. But keep turning those ribs. And if you want to let your left foot kind of flop open a little, that may give you a little bit more through that outer and inner hip. But keep taking the chest and turning. Breathe. Good. Release. Take the foot forward. Integrate both your hands to the ground. Lift the right knee up off the ground and let's step to a dog. And let's clear it out. Roll forward plank. Lower halfway to a push-up. Drag yourself through an up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Drive your right knee forward into a half pigeon and fold. It's not a long hold. We just did a bunch of hip stuff, but this should feel pretty good just to melt for about 45 seconds or so. You could use blocks to keep you in a nice position. Yeah, let the head just drop though. I mean, more importantly for the mind in this pose, just let your brain kind of shut off. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Lean on the right side and bring your left leg out like a little tree. Okay, so you're on your butt. Your left leg is out. Your right leg is bent like a little tree. We're going up into sail. So the right hand behind you, the crease of the wrist faces the back edge of the mat, and you're going to lift up. So this is a combo of side plank and a back bend. The right hand down, the right knee down is going to support you and lift up out of your waist. Exhale the breath, lower down. When you hit the floor, take your right knee forward and slide your left foot around for Ardha Matsyendrasana. This is called seated spine twist. Just make sure you're not sitting on your right foot. You want to be even in your hips. I'm just going to go ahead and give this left leg a squeeze, and the left hand behind me. As my inhale, lengthen up with the spine. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. Yep. Stay grounded. Make sure your left foot stays flat. Take one more. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, rinse and twist. Come back to center. You're going to counter stretch going the opposite direction. Come back to neutral. Unravel the feet so you're in reverse bridge pose, reverse tabletop. Press up. Anchor the feet. Broaden the collarbone in the chest. And lift yourself up in a reverse tabletop. Keep the neck very neutral. Lengthen from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Exhale the breath, lower down, cross the ankles. You could step, you could float through a vinyasa of choice. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land the left knee forward, half pigeon on the left side. Let yourself just melt into it. Utilize blocks to elevate you if you need that. But do let your head drop in some way so you could really get the full effects of the pose. A few more breaths. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Do it slow. Lean onto the left side. Slide the right leg forward. You're in a little tree here with my right leg forward, my left leg bent. Left hand behind you. Exhale breath lifts you up into the back bend, otherwise known as sails. My left knee is down and my right foot is flat if you can. Lift up out of your waist. Exhale the breath, let it go. Once you hit the ground slow, slide the left knee forward, right foot steps around. Seated spine twist, you're even on both butt cheeks here. You're not sitting on your left foot. Right hand behind you, hug that right knee in with that left arm. Inhale, lengthen, keep everything really even. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. One more, inhale, lengthen, ground. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. Come back to neutral, counter stretch if it feels good for you, and then find even. Bring your blocks with you. You're gonna lay down for back bending. 2 more back bends. I'm gonna show you how I'm taking my back bend. Some of you love wheel and feel open and ready for it. You can go for that now. So I'm gonna lay down with my feet on the blocks. I'm just gonna make sure that my feet are set up like I would do a normal bridge, okay? So a normal bridge pose would be my fingertips can kind of like get the back of those blocks. Good. And then I'm going to robot my arms. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to press my feet into the blocks. This is giving me so much space to get into a nice back bend. If you've chosen to go into full wheel, go for it. Make it count for today. Wrap the inner thighs down and under. The same alignment. So you're either roboting the arms, you're interlacing the hands. Yeah. Stay up for a couple more breaths, guys. Exhale the breath wherever you've chosen to go, lower down. Take a breath in, take a breath out, repeat or supported back bend here, supported shoulder stand. You're gonna slide a block underneath your lower back any which way, supported bridge, looks just like this. And then maybe one leg at a time, lifts up towards the sky for supported shoulder stand. Knees can have a little bend, but hips, knees, and ankles are all aligned. Cupping the shoulder blades together, repeating any variation that works for you this morning. Bending the knees in half if they're up, lower the feet down, lift the hips enough to remove the block, and then lower the hips slow to the ground. Hug the knees in towards the chest, give them a good squeeze, and reach for the outer blades of your feet, happy baby. Lengthen the tailbone, let the upper shoulder blades hit the mat. Flex the feet strong. Good, come back to center, just wrap the right thigh over the left, move the hips a little to the right and drop the knees to the left for a supine twist here. Yeah. Move that out of the way. Good, come back through center and just go ahead and take my left thigh over my right. My hips have to kind of wiggle a little left so I have room to drop my knees to the right. My right shoulder blade has to stay down. And I can use my right hand to encourage that thigh to drop. Come up to center, unravel yourself. And the best part of the practice, some of us just come for this, Shavasana. So don't cheat yourself this morning. Blocks underneath the thighs feels great. Lift the shoulders and then drop them back down. Let the feet turn open, palms face up. Take a giant breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just drop into the mat for the next minute or two. Let everything go. Take a big breath in. Follow it up with a loud exhale breath out. Arms come up over the top of the head, a full stretch from fingertips to toes. I call this a job well done. Hug the knees in towards the chest, a big squeeze this morning. And then rock up any which way that works for you, or stay down and just shut it all off and stay there for longer if you can. Sit up nice and tall this morning. Feel the effects of this awesome practice. I really enjoyed this one, guys. Hands to prayer, bow your head for a sec. Have some gratitude always. It's great to pause and do that. Lift the head, open the eyes. A big namaste to you. Go out there, have an awesome afternoon. We'll do this again on Friday at 9:30.